On today's show, we are going to build the only printer that you can't buy. Hey, welcome to the First Layer. My name's Richard. On today's show, we are starting a brand new series, and this is the series on building the Voron 2.4. Now, the Voron has been around for a few years. It is a completely open source 3D printer. It is a Core XY, completely enclosed printer, so it's ideal for printing higher temperature plastics. You have a variety of different hot ends that you can use with this, and we're going to start today by utilizing the frame itself. So we are going to start here with the frame, and we've got it all laid out. We've got to do some cleaning on it first, because when I got the frame pieces, these frame pieces didn't come pre-drilled or pre-tapped. So I tapped them all and I pre-drilled them all. I didn't think you guys needed to see that because it's just boring drilling and tapping. But what we need to do is I need to clean all of these up now, so that I can go ahead and start assembling and show you guys exactly how that works. So we're going to start cleaning these with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, show you how to do that, and we'll get right to it. Okay, so I've saturated a paper towel with some IPA, and I'm just going to run it along the outer edge and down the track, so I make sure that I get all of the excess oil off from doing the tapping and the drilling. And we're just going to quickly go through and do this. So I'm going to go through and clean up all of these with just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, I should say. And then I'll come back and we will start to build the frame of our 3D printer. Stick around. Okay, so now that we've got everything cleaned up, we are now going to start the assembly. We have our 420s right here, or pardon me, our 420s right here, and our 480s right here. Now, if we double check that, we can just take our tape measure and go ahead and check that. This is 420 or 420 millimeters. There are 10 of these. If you've ordered your extrusion from Misumi, which I recommend that you do because it is recommended in the BOM, or the Bill of Materials, I'll link to the Voron website and where you can get all the STLs and where you can get all the plans for building this printer. The reason that we're building this printer is, first of all, I haven't built a printer in a long time, and secondly, Brian and I are starting a print farm, and what we want to do is build reliable, easy to maintain, fast, fully enclosed 3D printers. So this was a great option for us. So when we pull out the parts that we need, we're going to need all 10 of our 420 millimeter 2020 extrusions, and they should all be tapped on the end. And we can see there that we have it tapped on the end, and there's a little screw in there already. I'm going to be pulling those out because what we're going to do is we're going to end up putting in some of our Loctite. Now, Loctite is very important because Loctite is what is going to allow you to actually go ahead and make sure that none of these screws come out. So let's start with that. We're going to take 2 of our stanchions and we're going to grab our Allen key. And in this case, we need a 3mm Allen key because we're using 5mm bolts. So we're going to take this first one and second one out. And then we're going to just start putting things together here. We'll take it out of both ends. Now, if you tap these yourself, make sure that you tap them straight, because if you don't tap them straight, you're going to run into serious cross-threading problems, and you don't want that. Okay, so we've got the first one. We're going to go ahead and grab our Loctite. Give it a little shake because it sometimes separates the materials in there. Oh, now we got a little bit that came out. Now, Loctite is not cheap, and you don't want to use the the permanent Loctite, you want to use the blue medium to low Loctite. What we're going to do is we're going to just put a little bit in the hole here on the threads. We're going to take our bolt and we're just going to put that bolt in. And we're going to screw it down fairly close to the end of the cap. So we've got just a little bit of room. And then we're going to take one of our uprights and we're going to slide that on there to get our first connection. Now what you want to make sure of when you're doing this, I'll just push these out of the way so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. What you want to do is you want to make sure that this is square. If it's not square, you're going to run into a problem. So what I've chosen to do is I take my square and I just basically go ahead and line my square up like so that it's flat against here and flat against there. And then I'm just going to take this little clamp and I'm going to clamp it in. So now I know that everything is going to be square, and now I'm just going to tighten up that bolt, making sure that everything is nice and tight. And I can see that that is tight against there. Everything is nice and square. The other thing you want to check when you're doing this is you want to check to make sure that it is flat here as well. So a lot of times people will tell you to build this on a piece of glass. I don't think that's necessarily necessary in this case, but I'm just going to, what I will do is I will give this a little bit of a tighten yet. There we go. So now I know that that is nice and square. And if I put my square on over here, I can see that it's nice and flat as well. And we'll just kind of show that to the camera. You can see that that is nice and flat as well. Okay. So, where do we go from here? Well, we got to put on another corner. So we're going to do that. We're going to take another corner, get those screws out of there. And we'll put this other corner on. And once we've got all of our corners done, we're going to check it for square. And then we are going to make sure that everything is nice and tight and square, and then we're just going to go around and tighten everything down. So I'm going to do that off camera so you guys don't have to be bored, and we'll go from there. How's that sound? Okay, so we'll be right back. So we have gone ahead and got our complete cube made. Now we want to make sure that it's square. Making sure that it's square is actually a feat in itself, to be honest with you. What you want to do is go around first of all and make sure that the edges are flush. If they're not flush, get this back out, put it on top, have a look at it, and I can see that this particular rail is riding a little bit high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this one up, get my Allen key in there, I'm going to drop it down. I'm going to make sure that it's even here as well on this back side, and back up to the top, and there we go. So we are now even all the way around, and this is also going to help you in case you're getting any twists. So we are now going to just tighten this all up. There we go. Nice and flush. It's a little in right here, so I'm going to pull that out just a little bit because you want it flush on two sides. So we are going to just loosen that up a little bit, put our square back up on top, and give it that little bit of a tighten. So now, if I look at this, I can see that we're flat there and we're flat on the top. Now I'm just going to go around the entire thing, and we're going to do that all throughout this build so that we know that this is completely square, and then we're going to measure. Once we've done that, we know that this has no racking. It can't rack after all of the blue tack or the Loctite that we've put on is completely set and dry. We know that none of this is going to twist on us. And with the way that this is built, you're going to see how all of this is going to work together. Like right now I can feel that this one here is twisted, and I can feel it because I've got this corner right here that I can feel. So now I'm just going to go back over. This edge is good, so I don't have to loosen this screw, but I do have to loosen this one. So I'm just going to turn it a little bit. Just double check that side. That looks good. Not catching, but this side certainly is. So we're going to stick this on top. We're going to loosen this bolt up just a little bit and go through and then tighten it all together, just like it is right now. There we go. Now just give that a little tighten, and that is now flush all the way around. Now if you go ahead and do this all the way around the printer, what you're going to find is that it's going to start to square itself in just a little bit. I've got a little bit of a rise right here. Oh no, that's actually pretty good right there. That one's pretty good. This side is up though. How are we here? This one could go in a little bit. So first and foremost, we're just going to clamp this down right here onto our piece. We're gonna just give this a little loosen, pop it in, pop it up, and then tighten her down. Just make sure she stays square. She doesn't roll on you. There we go. That is, oh, we didn't drop it. We still up a little bit. So we are going to loosen that again. And this is just the stuff that you're going to have to do to get this right. And unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast. So we're going to put that back on there. Make sure that everything is nice and snug and flush. And it is now. So now we'll just go ahead and tighten that one all the way down. And the last one that we have to do is this one right here. We know that it has to go down a little. So just give it a little loosen. Crash, bang. Don't you love those big sounds? Put this on again. And make sure that everything is flush before we get it snugged down. There we go. So now we're all flush. And we're flush there as well. So once you've done one side, flip it over and go ahead and do the other side. And I can see right now that I've got issues with this side. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up now that you've seen how it's done. And when we come back, we are going to show you what this frame looks like. Now we can't put the bed rails on because we're missing our little corner blocks. But once those come in, we will definitely get the bed rails put on. And next, we are going to, in the next episode, we're going to start looking and building up the motion control system on this using all of our pulleys and our motors. We'll get the Z-axis set, and then in future episodes we'll just keep moving on. We'll get the gantry all done and so on and so forth. So let me go ahead and just finish this up, and once I am done, then we'll come back. Alright, so we've gone around now and we fine-tuned our frame so everything is nice and square. We have no rocking in our frame whatsoever. We don't have a very level table here, but we are going to check to make sure that everything is even, and that is 65 to that corner. Let's go to the other corner here and see where we're at. And that is exactly 65 to that corner. So we are in great shape. This is nice and square now. We can move on to our next project. Now, we're just going to put this out of the way, and let's talk about the other rails that we have here really quickly. Just put you down there. We have two more rails that are 420 millimeters long. These will be used for our bed support. So we will put these on when our corner blocks come in. They didn't come in time for this video, so when they do come in, we'll go back to that. We may just put that all together in the bed. Now you'll find that you've got two more long ones, which measure, let's just check these out. These are 400 millimeters long. Then you have another one that is 380, and then you've got a really short one, which is 290 millimeters. Now, the way that these go together is this one is going to be our X gantry. This is where all of our hot end and extruder are going to live, is right on this rail. And these three rails make up our Y and Z axes. So we are just going to put these aside for now. And when we come back in the next episode, we're going to start tackling the motion system. So we're going to get the Z drives all set up, and we'll get them put onto the frame so that you guys can see them. Now, if you are new to 3D printing, this is not a build for a newbie, to be perfectly honest with you. And I know that our channel really caters to the noob and the intermediate 3D printing enthusiast. However, we're going to go outside that box a little bit. This is more of an intermediate to an expert because of the things that we're going to have to do. Now, building the frame is pretty simple, straightforward, and easy to do. However, when we start to get into the electronics and routing belts and things like that, that's where things start to get a little bit more complicated, and we're going to show you that in the next episode. So if you got something out of today's episode, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to our channel and stay up to date with our build as we go through and build this one up. On our next episode, we are going to be having a quick look at a new board for an Ender 3, and then we are going to come back and talk more about our build here as we build up our Z-axis motors and control system. So until I see you next time, please remember that the first layer is always your foundation to a great print, and check out some of these other videos that we have on the channel for you as well. Take care.